engine roaring, thousands watching, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. had seen enough. Not enough to celebrate, not enough to approve him for Daytona. I saw enough to not approve him for Daytona or Talladega, to be quite honest with you. When Dale Jr. says something like that, NASCAR listens. His words carry weight. He doesn't speak lightly. But here's where everything flips. In that same conversation about that same driver, he also said this. He's good for the sport. He's good for us. Wait, what? Did Dale Jr. just shut Cleetus McFarland out of NASCAR's biggest stages, or quietly admit he might be part of its future? Because what happened between those two statements is what nobody is explaining properly. There was a moment behind closed doors, no cameras, no crew, that changed the entire tone of the conversation. NASCAR made its official ruling. Cleetus called it a kick in the nuts. And now the entire motorsports world is asking one uncomfortable question. Does a YouTube star actually belong at the highest level of stock car racing? The truth is more complicated than either side wants to admit. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why. If you're new here, hit that like button and subscribe. Every single subscriber genuinely helps this channel grow, and there's a lot more content like this coming your way. Before diving into what Dale Jr. said, you need to understand who Cleetus McFarland actually is, because his story is unlike anything NASCAR has seen before. Cleetus didn't come up through the traditional motorsports ladder. He didn't start in go-karts, work his way through late models, grind through ARCA, and eventually earn a Truck Series ride. That well-established path, go-karts, late models, ARCA, trucks, Xfinity Cup, is the route almost every professional racing driver follows. Cleetus didn't follow it. Not even close. He built his name on YouTube, documenting car builds, racing experiments, and track days that attracted a massive and loyal following. He then created the Freedom Factory, a grassroots racing venue and community hub that became a cultural landmark for car enthusiasts across the country. And when he decided he wanted to race at a higher level, he went directly to ARCA, skipping every traditional stepping stone without hesitation. What makes that even more remarkable is the audience he brought with him. During his races, Cleetus McFarland live streams to between 40,000 and 60,000 viewers in real time. That number alone is why NASCAR and Dale Earnhardt Jr. are paying close attention. This isn't a hobbyist playing around at a local track. This is a content creator with the reach of a television broadcast, and he's pointing that reach directly at NASCAR. Dale Earnhardt Jr. didn't form his opinion from a distance. He studied Cleetus closely. He watched the YouTube video from the truck test with Motorsports. He watched the YouTube video of his O'Reilly test with RCR. Then, he watched the actual race. He analyzed Cleetus' entry points, his line through corners, and how he picked up the throttle on exit. What Dale Jr. saw in those early stages was raw and unpolished, but what came next genuinely impressed him. As the race went on, he adapted, and he learned, and he got better, Dale Jr. said. He started to understand where and how to push the car. That rapid learning curve is not something every driver demonstrates, especially someone coming from outside the traditional system. For Dale Jr., that kind of in-race evolution is a hallmark of a real racer. He also put Cleetus' unconventional path into broader context, noting that skipping the lower rungs of the ladder isn't unheard of. There are no rules to this, Dale Jr. stated plainly. But it wasn't just what happened on the track that earned Cleetus respect. After recording an episode of the Dale Jr. Download podcast, the group went out to lunch. Before anyone could reach for the bill, Cleetus had already quietly paid for the entire table. No cameras, no fanfare, just a genuine act of generosity. That's just who he is, Dale Jr. shared. That moment revealed something important about Cleetus McFarland's character, something that no lap time can measure. But here's where the story gets complicated. For all his praise, Dale Earnhardt Jr. was equally direct about his concerns. In all three viewings, the truck test, the O'Reilly test, and the race, Cleetus lost control of the vehicle. Dale Jr. didn't sugarcoat it. He busted his ass. In all three of those instances, he lost control of the car or the truck. At Rockingham, Cleetus frequently ran a low line on the track that caught veteran observers off guard. Kyle Petty joked that Cleetus had seen parts of the racetrack that few other drivers have ever visited. Dale Jr. explained the specific challenge. Rockingham's hard tire combined with its relatively repaved surface creates an extremely narrow margin for error. I actually expected him to wreck, Dale Jr. admitted. He didn't. So that was a surprise. Still, what Dale Jr. witnessed was not enough to clear Cleetus for the sport's most demanding tracks. I saw enough to not approve him for Daytona or Talladega, to be quite honest with you, he said. NASCAR reached the same conclusion, officially ruling on Tuesday that Cleetus McFarland needs more time on the track before being cleared to race at Talladega Superspeedway. Cleetus called the decision a kick in the nuts, but acknowledged he understood it. This is a critical distinction. Dale Jr.'s concern was never about Cleetus' talent or his heart for the sport. It was about experience and, above all, safety. Daytona and Talladega are the most dangerous tracks in all of NASCAR. Sending an underprepared driver, there isn't a risk worth taking. This wasn't a rejection of Cleetus McFarland. It was a roadmap, a clear and honest one. Both NASCAR and Dale Earnhardt Jr. pointed in the same direction when it came to next steps. I need 1, 2, maybe 3 more events somewhere else before you're going to get this opportunity, Dale Jr. said. More time in ARCA and trucks was the recommendation from both sides. And the evidence already suggests Cleetus is responding to that challenge. His ARCA race at Bristol showed clear and measurable evolution as a driver. Dale Jr. closely watched his entry into corners, his line selection, and how he managed throttle application. How he really evolved as that race went on was really interesting to me, Dale Jr. said. That kind of coachable lap-by-lap improvement is exactly what the sport needs to see before opening more doors. There are also new opportunities potentially on the horizon. Rumors suggest that K-Leg Racing may be organizing a gong show, a reality-style competition designed to identify new racing talent, with Cleetus potentially taking part. Nothing has been officially confirmed, but that type of platform could give him yet another high-visibility opportunity to prove himself. But here's the bigger question. Why does any of this even matter to NASCAR? The answer goes far beyond lap times and finishing positions. The modern motorsports landscape has changed dramatically. Fan engagement and social media influence are now evaluated alongside raw on-track performance. Manufacturers like Dodge track follower counts alongside race results. Racing teams now actively consider a driver's fan base as a measurable part of their overall value. Cleetus McFarland brings something to the table that almost no other driver in the sport can match. Between 40,000 and 60,000 live viewers watch his races in real time. His merchandise sells out. His events at the Freedom Factory fill to capacity. And perhaps most importantly, he is pulling in fans who have never engaged with NASCAR before. It was exciting to realize they were reaching fans who might never have watched a NASCAR show before, Dale Jr. said. That is the kind of audience growth that no marketing budget can easily replicate. Cleetus isn't just racing. He is building a culture. The Freedom Factory stands as a working model for grassroots fan engagement, a place where the sport feels accessible, community-driven, and genuinely exciting. That is precisely what NASCAR needs to survive and grow in the digital age. Which brings everything back to the most telling thing Dale Earnhardt Jr. said throughout this entire conversation. We got a lot more out of this than I think he did. He didn't need us. That sentence carries enormous weight. Cleetus McFarland did not arrive at NASCAR's doorstep out of desperation or necessity. He came with his audience already built, his credibility already established, and his authenticity already on full display. The argument can genuinely be made that NASCAR needs Cleetus more than Cleetus needs NASCAR. Look at the full picture. He paid for lunch quietly, authentic. He lost control of the car, but still finished the race, resilient. He improved measurably with every single lap, coachable. And 60,000 people watched him do it live, influential. Dale Jr.'s bottom line was simple and direct. He's good for the sport. He's good for us. Dale Jr. praised him and raised real concerns. And both of those things are equally true. Cleetus McFarland is not ready for Daytona yet, but he is undeniably on his way. And his impact on NASCAR is already real, already measurable, and already impossible to ignore, regardless of where he finishes on the leaderboard. This channel is brand new, and reaching 1,000 subscribers is a goal that genuinely matters here. If this video gave you value, please take a moment to like it and subscribe. It costs nothing and means everything to this channel's growth. Now it's your turn. Do you think Cleetus McFarland truly belongs in NASCAR? Or is he still just a YouTube guy playing in a professional world? Should NASCAR fast-track someone with his influence and reach? Or does experience always have to come first? Drop your honest thoughts in the comments below. This is exactly the kind of conversation worth having.